Alright guys, so we're back today to talk about some more Final Fantasy VII Remake news. This time around we're discussing this demo situation. This has been talked about for the past couple of days. I waited a few days to cover it, to talk about it, because everybody else was already hopping on it a few days ago, and I wanted to make some other videos. This all came about because the editor-in-chief over at US Gamer, Kat Bailey, had mentioned during a podcast about there being an FF7 Remake demo out there. She knew somebody that had played it. She said specifically, sounds like a demo is going to be coming out sooner rather than later. I know somebody who's played it. There is a playable demo somewhere out there in the wild. And people have seen this and got really excited, understandably so. You're talking about a demo for Final Fantasy VII Remake, a game that's been silent for, 4, 5 plus years now. We're talking about being able to finally play the game. It's understandable that people are getting excited. The thing is, though, press people getting to play a game early is nothing new. This happens pretty much every single year with probably every single release. They get to play the game early and then talk about it like on their website or whatever, which is good for their website. It gets traction to them. They have exclusive content. It's also just easy free marketing for whatever the video game is. As for a demo itself existing, that's not even remotely surprising. We've seen gameplay as far back as 2015. The game has been playable in some capacity as far back as 2015. And obviously we've seen a lot of gameplay from the State of Play trailer. We've seen gameplay up to at least the sewers below Don Corneo's mansion, potentially all the way to the Calm flashback. So they're pretty decently far into the Midgar segment as far as we've seen. So is there a demo for this game out there for press people? Yeah, like 99.9% certain, almost 100% certain that a demo for this game exists for the press to play. Will there be a public demo for this game? Will this game be playable at E3? It's hard to know. If we look at a recent release from Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts 3, that game was playable last year at E3 at the Square Enix booth, but no demo for the game ever dropped publicly. You could just play it at E3. If we go back a few years to Final Fantasy XV, which was Square Enix's last major Final Fantasy AAA release, this game had a demo. It had multiple demos that came out, and it was also playable at E3. It had movies and stuff that came out prior to its release, all kinds of stuff. So is it possible that we'll get a public demo for FF7 Remake at some point? Yeah, it's an absolute possibility, especially if they want to market it the way that they did Final Fantasy XV. Plus, with the lack of news that we've had for this game over the past 4 years, I could see them releasing a public demo at some point to just please the community, because it's like, we haven't shown you anything for this game for the past couple of years, well, here you can play it. As for when a public demo could come out for this game, it's hard to actually say. It depends on kind of the release date of FF7 Remake, but Episode Dusk Sky for Final Fantasy XV came out in March of 2015, a year and a half prior to the release of the actual game, so it's hard to really know when they would release a demo for FF7 Remake, if they even do. If we take a step back into 1996 through 98, they released 4 separate demos for Final Fantasy VII. The 96 one featured Aerith during the bombing mission, the 97 one featured Tifa during the bombing mission, and the 98 they dropped 2 separate demos for PC. One put you on Mount Corel, and the last one was just a battle system demo where you get to fight monsters in the Battle Square in Gold Saucer. So a public demo for FF7 Remake existing is an absolute possibility, simply based on the fact that the original game back in the 90s had multiple demos that came out pretty similar to Final Fantasy XV, which is pretty odd. And the fact that their last big Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy XV, had multiple demos that came out before the game ever released as well. So it's an absolute possibility that at some point we can get our hands on this game prior to its actual release. But that doesn't mean that we are going to get a demo. People got to keep their hype in check. They're seeing the word demo and getting excited, but it's almost definitely a press demo that she's referencing. She's the editor-in-chief at US Gamer. She probably knows so many people in the journalism business from all these other websites and stuff. There's no telling who she's actually referencing there. E3 2019 is just a few weeks away. We know FF7 Remake is going to be there. They're going to talk about it, hopefully in a large capacity. If there is a public demo coming out for this game, I'm sure they'll tell us there. But either way, I pass off to you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the whole demo situation? How hyped are you? How hyped would you be to be able to actually play Final Fantasy VII Remake after all of these years? Also, if a demo did come out for this game, what do you think it would actually entail? The first bombing mission makes the most sense, as we've seen with past demos, but also those PC demos let us do shit around Gold Saucer, so who knows? Here at the end of the video, of course, we're going to throw up some comments from the last video. I appreciate the support on the videos recently. The likes, the comments, the shares, if those even happen. Every little thing that you guys do helps the channel out. Without people watching the videos and leaving comments, the channel is entirely pointless, so I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and want to stay up to date with more Final Fantasy VII Remake content. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter at TheDashingDavid. And my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys. Give me a smile, give me forever for a while, give me forever for a while. Quit